together 20 of the city's most influential leaders, not just to stand up against bigotry, but also to stand up for those who are fighting for a more equitable and more tolerant future. But history does not have to repeat itself, and I'm so proud to be standing here today with our community leaders who understand the importance of the actual practical steps we need to be making to fight anti-Semitism and fight racism.
Today, as we are surrounded by such a tremendous spiritual presence, we stand on sacred and holy ground to declare that 6 million Jews who died in the Holocaust did not die in vain. The memory of their lives and their sacrifice is what hallows these sacred grounds. Today we have come to stand against prejudice, hatred, racism, bigotry, discrimination, which are all deeply rooted in ignorance. We must stand together to educate our children and children's children, to stand together and stamp out the ignorance that gives growth, gives rise to bigotry, hatred, and discrimination.
And we all stood together saying, let us never forget. We are being pressed as a nation right now. Hateful speech being spewed online and in our communities. People hearing those hateful words, including at times from leaders, and misappropriating those words to do evil to someone because of what they look like, or where they come from, or who they pray to or choose not to pray to. We cannot tolerate that in our society. And understand that each of us right now, at this unique moment, at this unique place, has a responsibility to do our part, to stop the hate, to ward off the violence, to understand one another better, and to bring people together.
And we should fight against any anti-Semitism anywhere, and really I appreciate all the colleagues being here today.
We're at the crossroads of deciding whether that experiment of democracy and respecting and tolerance and changing Constitution is important to fight for. The fact that we have friends of different ethnic backgrounds will not win this fight. And to my friends, my Jewish friends, I do pray that you have a happy and glorious new year and a reflective period, and that we do bind together in humanity and fight for everything that every American should want.
Although we all have bias that we must confront, hate is something that is learned. The good news is that we can unlearn it, we can unteach it, but that takes work and commitment and time and effort. But I know with the people assembled here and our friends and networks, we will do that. So I wish you a peaceful and healthy and safe new year, and I commit to stand with you against hate wherever we see it.
And if you listen to the statements that are made by some of our leaders and the things that people are embracing, it causes me to really have some true pain about what is happening to this nation. And I was listening to Senator Williams talk about his grandchild, that this not being the America that he was born into. And we have Yom Kippur, where we have reflection and atonement and repentance. We need to make sure that on other days of the year, that we are telling people that we're not going to allow ignorance and hate to continue to fester in this nation, in this state, in this city of brotherly love, and as my wife will say, sisterly effectiveness. So we need to maintain this focus all throughout the year and maintain the points that we need to do to educate those who have not been educated.
But I think that the plaza, like too many other of the city's cultural community institutions, are seen as a niche concern that only a segment of Philadelphia thinks is truly important. If we can do a better job of integrating our communities and learning more about each other's cultures and histories, we can go a long way towards eliminating that ignorance of the heart that allows apathy to remain in the face of injustice. Our time this evening is brief. and we won't be able to build these bridges in a day.
An education that conveys the gravity and the truth about what happened to Jewish people during the Holocaust. And we also owe our Jewish community so much more. Because if we as a society can't learn from our past, then persecuted people are just bound to experience the same grave consequences over and over again. But this survey is just one example of a larger troubling trend that we've been experiencing in Philadelphia. Inequality and oppression are being put under a magnifying glass. We're seeing injustice from new perspectives, and we're realizing the basic connectedness that all struggles of oppression share. And if we can acknowledge that this connectedness exists, then I think that we can also agree that it is critical for Americans from all backgrounds and from all walks of life to learn about and to understand the struggles of all oppressed people. Because I firmly believe that none of us are free unless all of us are free.